How are we all?
If your mum's there,
Oh, look.
she had the espresso coffee.
That's my clothing out of the laundry room. We
Hello,
have no airs and graces here, matey flippity doodah.
What's that?
Mark and Nadia, says Vicky Edwards, could you wait a few minutes before you start, as I always get ads that come up when I miss the start of the conversation. Let's sit here for a minute. That was your bottom. That's my bladder.
We start now?
Welcome
Welcome.
to 6 o'clock wine.
How are you all doing? Hope you've had a good day.
I'm
Sorry, we
absolutely
couldn't do
frickin'
this.
knackered.
We couldn't do this morning
No, busy.
because we were a wee bit busy. So we didn't want to leave the day without checking in with you. So how are you all doing?
So we thought we'd cheer you up with a slew of horrendous news, potentially, but with a few silly stories at the end. So Emma Staple popped over the border to Cornwall this afternoon, swam in the sea, had a pasty and an ice cream, and thought of you lot. Emma.
Oh, Emma, thank you for thinking of us. What was the sea like? Was it screamingly cold or has it heated up a bit? What was it like? We need to know more. What kind of pasty did you have? Was it cheese and onion? Was it beef? Did you have a flake with your ice cream? Was it a Mr. Whippy or was it a Cornish full
Or
cream
was it
one?
rum and raisin?
Rum and raisin. What's your favourite ice cream?
Love a rum and raisin.
I think we've done favourite ice creams before, but we
think we
quite
have.
often like to return to it, don't we?
Well, we like a dog returning to sick. We like to return to things all the time. Evening, everyone. Lorraine Eads.
What drives you to say the most disgusting thing? Mark, don't. Just because you're tired, don't sit there just saying disgusting things.
Anal. Gland.
Do you want to do this by yourself?
Too tired.
Well, don't say anything else disgusting or you will.
Okay.
Good evening, Lorraine. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Soraya.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome to 6 o'clock
Nicola,
wine.
Sam, Hazel, Nikki, Louise, Alison, Vicky, Steph, Susan, Bev. I apologise for him already, but hopefully my very stern face will stop any more grossness.
Welcome, Louise Garbain.
Sue Gilbert is knackered too.
Yeah,
Stressed
pistachio.
and anxious, says Gabrielle.
Sorry, I was wondering why things like pistachio were coming up, and that was because of ice cream chat. Sam JP, a 99, except they're about £3. He says, I went to an ice cream van the other day. It was a shocking amount of money.
I went up to the ice cream van today in Crystal Palace Park and ordered a cherry ice lolly, completely unbranded. God knows what it was made of, and a small bottle of mineral water. How much do you think it was? Unbranded.
Say again?
So it's just a plain unbranded cherry ice lolly and a bottle of water. What do you think?
That's
Guess. How much do you think that was?
Can I guess?
Zoe Shah got it in one straight away,
£7.50.
£4.50.
Oh my God.
But it just goes to show, look, Nicola Randall there, £7.
I'd have
That
said
we are
£7.50.
tuned to. This was like this big, unbranded, like it looked like it come out of a multi-pack.
But the terrible fact of the matter is most people here are quoting over that, which shows you why they charge so much, because we've all lost perspective.
Hazel Melbourne says £9.
So these people can charge that amount because good willing people are willing to pay it. Always makes me laugh when Mark says Garbain. That's my surname translated into Gaelic, so I can hide online from my pupils. Is that not how you pronounce it, Garbain? Jessica Woodstock's had laser eye surgery. My God, that means we'll be in even more
I'm
HD.
so jealous. I want to have that done, but I'm just so nervous.
She has 20/20 vision now. Does
don't.
20/20
I'm
vision
so
mean you can
jealous.
see
Perfection.
everything going on at the edges?
20/20 vision is as good as your vision
Yeah,
can
but
get,
it's
but
20
it doesn't necessarily mean you've got perfect peripheral vision, because we all use phones and computers and everything. We all have much
I can see my fingers there.
less peripheral vision than we should have.
Say peripheral?
Can't. I've tried 3 times.
Peripheral. Got peripheral. You sort of collapse at funeral, don't you? Peripheral.
Peripheral.
Peripheral. Vicky Edwards, I nearly cried the last time we bought fish and chips. I didn't have a meal for myself and my boys shared some stuff, nearly £30. It's got ridiculous, guys. Hasn't it? It really has got. I mean, that's a rant in itself.
God.
Is the cost of it.
Vicky.
Now, look, don't get me wrong. A lot of these businesses are trying
Vicky
to make
went
up for
without
lost
a meal.
earnings. Yeah.
But they're short-sighted because people are going to stop.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday. I was talking about this with Jordan and Lexi yesterday.
Thank you, Sophie. I'll have a look.
Like, young people are just like getting picnics and going to the bloody common now,
That's what I've been saying all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't go to nightclubs, they won't go to pubs. Why go to restaurants if you can do
But
all
the
of it for
next
cheap?
is our generation, because like these people I was having lunch with yesterday, I said, fucking hell, I had 5 chicken gyozas before I met them because I knew I'd be starving afterwards because everything is just such tiny portions.
I've stopped. My favourite food is fish, and I've stopped ordering fish because in restaurants they're so tiny. Even when you ask this is the bit that really gets me, right? I'll say really nice to the waiter, how big's your fish? And
no, you don't, because you're always too shy.
No.
I say,
No,
can you just tell me how big the fish is?
And they
you
always
go,
say-
and you go, oh my God, she's talking to them, she's asking them.
Shut up!
Yes, you do. I'm not allowed to talk to a waiter.
Shut up! Anyway, she asks or I ask, and they say, oh, it's such a good size. And it never is.
But I'm going to ban you from ever ordering fish.
Yeah, but what size are the waiters used to?
Because usually it's this big. So expensive.
Is there any food type that's cheap? I suppose McDonald's, isn't it? I mean, McDonald's has crept up as well.
Even McDonald's is still cheap though. That's what's scary about it.
And if
people that are struggling financially know that they can feed their kids and their kids will be all happy and jolly on a McDonald's. But
Laura S, what's your fave coffee? I really like, if I'm really honest, the Starbucks pods. I know pods are terribly bad for the
But we're
environment.
always looking for a new kind of coffee.
Oh yeah.
We
Any
try
type
lots of coffees, trying to find a new one.
I'm thinking
we really
of
like.
moving into beaned coffee and having a coffee bean grinder.
Yeah, well, my sister uses, the little Italian, oh my God, her coffee always smells amazing. She uses these little, we'd have the pods just for when we're in a hurry. But to have one of those little, I don't know what they call, not cafetières, because they're the ones with the plunger. Do you know what I mean with the 2 levels?
Yeah. No.
And you screw it on. It's
the
like a
metal
little
thing.
kettle. What's that called?
Yeah, the metal thing, and it will bubble up and come through. Seems like an awful lot of
No, it doesn't
agony
bubble up.
It does, the really rectangular, almost hexagonal.
Hexagonal.
Yeah, sort of thing with a top.
What's
we used
that
to have
called?
one. Yeah, that's called something. And then anyway, what happens is you put it in the bottom, my friend Jim used to do it, and you hear it go, moccasin pot. And it comes up the middle and it drops through the side. And then you get your coffee.
You know how they have it? No,
Always
not a
tastes like
it's not a
metal.
percolator.
Espresso
It's a
pot.
pot. Maybe it is no more.
Haven't a clue. What's wrong, babe?
Sorry, I just got a stabbing pain in my foot again. Oh my God, that was so painful. Mark, could you go over and get me my roller thing? I'm really struggling with my plantar fascia at the minute. Thank you to the lovely lady, I don't remember your name now, that has recommended that I use, oh God, it wasn't ultraviolet. Anyway, I kept it and I'm going to do it because it's like the grey thing that I stretch my foot on. But it's hurting me nowadays, even when I'm sitting down. That's bad.
It's Robocop's shoe.
So I put my heel here and I pull it back. So I'm going to do that for the entire time we're talking to stretch her.
For God's sake.
Oh, it's so annoying, babe.
You just stop hanging around. So, it's your fascia. All right, easy.
No, I know it's my fascia, but I can't remember what somebody from here told me to. I think it's like an ultraviolet.
Have you seen they're launching London Fascia Week?
Oh, shut up.
Mark,
Hi, Jacqueline Frost. Hi, Alison Fisher. Hi, Isabel Moore. Hi, Dixon Sarmed. If anybody's new here, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so you can always know when we are here. Oh, it was somebody's belated birthday. Hang on. Jackie Valino. Oh, it was your birthday on Sunday.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I think this is Sunday. Happy birthday to you.
Can I just say,
Sorry.
I'm really pleased Mark Oakerby has mentioned that Domino's is extortion in a box.
It really is.
But if you think Domino's is bad, try Papa John's.
So
It's a
bad.
whole other heap of pain.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
Now, there was a lovely one of our subs, I must call her out. My sister has her business, Art by Box. It's bloody hard grafting a small business, just her and her friend. And they did a market thing, craft market on Sunday.
Right.
And one of our subs came up and she said, oh, she was so lovely. Amelia Mills Nicho. So I wanted to give you a
Amelia
shout out and
Mills
say,
Nicho.
yeah, and she came over and she had a chat with Dina, with Dina, and they did a photo, and she bought one of Dina's art by boxes. And she's a fellow teacher. She just wanted to say hello. And I'm following you now on Instagram. Well, I put in a request to follow you on Instagram. Also today, I had just such the loveliest moment in the park. Oh God, I'm going to get upset again. Just give me 1 second. Beautiful young girl, probably about Maddie's age. And she came up and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry to say hello. And I was like, God, don't be sorry. And she said, oh, I just love your YouTube and I'm really sorry. I'm like, please, we love it when people come up. I'm telling you, they never say sorry.
Absolutely.
Anyway, she said that last year her dad hadn't been ill and we'd given her dad a shout out and he'd loved it. And then she said, and she lost her dad, he died since then. And it was just, if you're watching, oh, me and Kiki were talking about you all the way home, and I just wanted to give you another big hug and thank you for your kind words. I'm so sorry about your dad, and never feel bad about coming up to us.
Big hugs if you're watching.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Dragon Rose, if you're late, it's fine.
We'll
you're a
let you
dragon. You're a dragons are known for not being notoriously unpunctual.
I'll find the vitamin D. Sorry, I forgot to do that yesterday. I will do it. Lots of people ask me about my vitamin D. Sorry.
Lisa Dilmek, it's been 4 degrees for 2 weeks and dropped 1 degree today. 162 fires in 5 days, but most of the fires have also been suspicious. So you mean to say someone's actively setting them off? I mean, that's just beyond wrong, isn't it? So, yeah, I just saw the story today that Spanish and Croatian planes have joined the battle against Turkish wildfires. Firefighting planes from Spain and Croatia have joined the battle. And it's getting ludicrous out there. The woman on Sky News, that remarkable journalist.
I love her.
If there's an explosion, she's right next to it. If there's a fire, she's in front of it. If there's
I was
war, she's in
watching
it.
her on the 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock news. And she was like, oh my God, you know, she always keeps her cool. She was like, oh my God, this is happening in seconds. The fire was just, it was breaking my heart. People just throwing little buckets of water.
Isn't it terrible, though, that we only pay... I'm not suggesting we are only paying attention because of this, but it sort of feels much more relevant to us when you hear tourist locations and tourists being evacuated.
Nature. It's just human nature, it does. And obviously there's probably people now watching who've got family or friends there. In Bodrum is one of the places, or actually planning to go to Turkey. It's 47 degrees. Dina said she was there one year when it was 47 degrees.
Yeah, but why would you start? I can't even get my head round why you
would they think they started in Turkey.
Yeah, well, she was, sorry, Dilmek said, Lisa Dilmek said many of them have been started, seem to be suspiciously started. I mean, it's just ridiculous. A particular group has said they will bring Turkey to its knees, Lisa Dilmek.
Who is it?
Politically motivated.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, look, a number of you are asking what's going on in Wuhan. This is what's going on in Wuhan. Panic buying. Stripped shop shelves in Wuhan as strict Stripped shop shelves. Christ, that's hard.
I don't think you...
Panic buyers strip shop
That's
shelves
not easy.
in Wuhan as strict lockdown imposed over variant fear. So China's authorities are moving fast to stop the rise in cases of the Delta variant, with more than 20 cities now in lockdown. It doesn't look like their vaccine is effective then.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is a lot of this problem, the vaccine situation.
But isn't it weird that it's come from there, it's come to us, and it's bounced back to them? And now it seems now they're going into a tailspin too. Look, I mean, literally, there's Chinese residents all charging around. And, you know, obviously our hearts go out to them because... But it does make you wonder...
The poor Chinese people. I mean, their government and Jesus God only knows what they get up to. But the poor people of China, jeez. God.
But can I say, is anyone else shocked that they don't have a highly efficient vaccine? They've known about it the longest. There's increasing evidence it came out of one of their labs. Do you think the Delta variant sort of completely gets round their vaccine, maybe? Because their vaccine has been efficient,
let's face it. It hasn't. Well, I can't remember the countries now, but there's been over the months.
Yeah, a number of South American ones, like Peru and places like that.
It hasn't worked.
Yeah, where the Sinovac or whatever it's called, it's only like 53% efficacious.
And I think was it Dubai, something like that. They had to revaccinate everybody.
Yeah, they've had to vaccinate people 4 or 5 times. Yeah, absolutely. Heartbreaking photos show people left to fight Turkey's devastating wildfires alone. I mean,
I know, I've
it's
just
a
been
big
watching
story.
it. It's just been it really is heartbreaking. There's this one woman that just completely loses it.
Yeah.
Because her house is just, well, I mean, there won't be a thing left of it.
No. And I mean, you know, so there's that. We've talked about it quite a bit, but I think it deserves to be kept talking about. And then there's the fact that, you know, another reminder, even in China, that unless we get a global grip on this coronavirus, however good things are here, and although the numbers of infections are going down here, we had the highest number of deaths, didn't we, in a long time, 138 today. It just shows you that it's all on a bit of a knife edge, isn't it, at all times? You know, in one part of the world, if it runs ragged through a population, then we could be in a situation again where, you know, where variants emerge and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when I went to that story about Wuhan, I was panicking because I saw concerns over variant, and then I thought, what, not another variant? Jesus Christ. Hi, Donna Pearson. Hope you're well, darling. Now, there's this story about, is there an Iranian, is there some ship that's been hijacked?
There's some ship that has been hijacked, and there's talk that it is in connection with rising tensions with Iran.
Great. Okay, so as if we haven't got enough to
So if we
contend
haven't
with on
got
the planet.
enough, but there's no connection to the UK and that boat, but we don't know where that boat is from.
Oh, right, okay. That's a curious story. We have to keep an eye out,
Because
like
it's-
aye, Captain Reese. Hope you're well, Reese.
Click and see if it's up now. It's because it was literally, she was having to be very careful on Sky because obviously she was getting information, but they had to have it verified before.
What was it, a tanker?
I think
or?
it's from Oman, says Lucy Kitson.
Oh, Oman. Yeah. The butcher, British special for two. No. Iran
see,
and
it's
the
not
Navy go to war.
7 hours ago.
Yeah. Just having a look.
Has anyone else seen it?
Hello, everyone. Bit late.
Who was that saying sorry for being late? It's so sweet. Where are you?
Trying to find it. Can't find anything. 23 minutes ago. UK sources see Iran involved in potential vessel hijack. British sources believe the Asphalt Princess has been hijacked and are working on the assumption that Iranian military or proxies boarded the vessel. What's the Asphalt Princess? Earlier Britain's maritime... Who does the Asphalt Princess belong to?
See what I mean? It's so there's no real information.
Oh, it's registered in the UK, is it? Oh, right. Oh, Christ. So by association we're involved, are we?
Oh, God.
Carefully you befriend in the trawler boat situation.
God, here we go.
It's going to be like... Could you imagine if the Iranian hijacking was like below deck?
We just have to get to the point now we bloody laugh.
Oh, flipping heck. I mean, look, if we're all going to go up in flames in one great, big, horrendous fireball of just self-destruction, what would you do? What would you do in your last 10 minutes?
My friend of mine rang up today and she's got the most horrendous thing going on that just could potentially be an absolute nightmare for her. You know who I was speaking to, so I don't want to say.
Yes.
And we just had to laugh in the end. Just like, can't fucking believe it.
Do you know-
How many more things?
Do you know what my worry is, though? If we were at a tipping point where you were looking at, say, in a month's time, shitting hell, everything's going down, what would you do? What would you do for the last month of your life?
I love that. Ellen says she'd hold on to her kids and dogs and sit in front of Disney.
Oh, right. My worry is how you would go down.
I know.
And that would be
What
worrying.
would I do without Hey You?
What would you do, though? Seriously? Would you jump on a plane and fly somewhere and go somewhere? Would you travel? Would you stay at home,
I think
hunker
most
down?
people are going to say that
What would
they're
you
going to
do,
get
guys?
closest to the people that they love, aren't they?
Really?
I mean,
So we could
what are
have
you
a
going to
snog.
do? Fly off on your own to some desert island and then do what?
Have sex?
Mark, stop being annoying.
Just a thought. Sarah Sutton, get really high. James Flanagan, where can I buy we've got a box and we're going to vlog it. James Flanagan, where can I buy a one-way ticket to Mars?
Thank you, James.
Where can I buy a one-way ticket to the local shop to eat Mars? Does anyone else like a Mars ice cream? They're so delectable.
I prefer Snickers.
I don't know what I do. Because a lot of people often say, if it was the end of the world, I mean, lots of people, if I could count them on one hand, it would be at least two, have said to me, in the event of the end of the world, would you start drinking? And I say, of course I would. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because even in those last vital minutes, I could leave my children with a horrendous memory of me. Even though they'd be dead too. So, I mean, this is a bleak conversation. I mean, we're talking about
God
Armageddon.
almighty,
Or we're
can we
talking about
just
apocalypse. What would you do, guys, if you had a month left to...
Oh, I love this one. This is so funny. Lisa Dilmack. Yes, I'd go to see my family I've not seen for 2 years, and I'd eat copious amounts of bacon.
Fantastic.
Is that because you're a vegetarian?
Oh, wow, that's
Are you
really
missing
cool.
bacon?
Shelley Silver, I'd grab my son from university, take my cat and take us all to my elderly mums. Oh, Shelley, and we'll come with you. I'd eat loads and drink loads, Sonia Donovan. Zoe Shah, Happy Tuesday Tuesday. Gabrielle, I'd watch this channel. I wouldn't, because we'd be running around on batshit crazy. Just
How
kind of
long
going,
have we got? A day or a week?
a month.
Oh, a month.
Yeah. I suppose we could. We could profile our demise. That'd be interesting,
I
wouldn't it?
think I'd want to be as close to nature as I could. This beautiful world.
Would you?
Yeah.
But Mandy
Such a
Dennis tells us
beautiful
something
world.
that's much more important than the end of the world. New peanut butter Snickers are out.
What?
That's got Nadia's name written all
What,
over
Mandy
it.
Dennis?
Wow.
Wow, so it's going to be a bit like a Star Bar.
Ooh, what's a Star Bar?
The most fattening chocolate bar there ever was, with the highest rate of fat and salt.
More than a Whisper Gold.
It's so delicious. Oh, God, it's streets above
Does anyone
a Whisper
like
Gold.
the
It's got
golden
peanut,
blonde
thick peanut
top
butter in
to a
it.
Whisper
Thick
Gold?
peanut butter in it. A Star Bar. I love a Star Bar.
Okay.
I haven't let myself have one for about 20
Laura
years.
Lawler's got a weird thing she'd do in the last month of her life. She'd get fluid tablets from doctor and turmeric drink in a glass of warm milk. I'm joking. You're obviously having another conversation. Zoe Griffiths-Brown, I love a Snickers ice cream. A Snickers ice cream is very good.
Oh, Zoe is stoically sticking to Marathon Bar.
That's a
She's
brilliant
refusing
sentence.
to say
Zoe
Snickers.
is stoically sticking to Marathon Bar.
Yeah, and stepping away
Marathon.
from Snickers.
Oh, yeah, do you remember Marathon and all that? I'd get married, says Jenny L.
To who?
To someone.
Oh, anyone.
Mind you, you'd then have to find a vicar, and then the vicar himself would be looking at his month. I think everyone would be quite distracted, wouldn't they? I mean, if you sort of run up to someone, look, it's the last month, would you mind officiating our wedding? They'd be like, no, sod off. Never believed in
Suzanne
God
Stone
anyway.
says, I'd kill us all off, and then knowing my luck, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Would you
What,
head
you'd
to
kill off
Cornwall?
your family so they didn't have to suffer. Okay, what would you
Oh,
do?
that's
I've
dark.
often thought about this.
That's
if the
dark.
Russians were invading,
Oh, well, you know what I'd do?
I think I would make us all a drink where we could all go to sleep.
I wouldn't. I'd build fortified protections, and I'd get a gun, and I'd try and battle against
No,
them.
I wouldn't want to be overrun. I wouldn't want to be, no.
That's almost a song. That sounded like a Spice Girls song. I wouldn't want to be, no. I'd make Molotov cocktails out of vodka and drink them. Ignite them and drink them.
Shirley Silver agrees with me. You should make her family a warm drink and they'd all go to sleep.
Really? What if the Russians... isn't it funny? If the Russians invaded, I don't feel they'd be very nice.
Exactly. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want the Russians to
The only thing I
invade.
do like about the Russians, though, is their caviar is just...
I don't think they'll be bringing their caviar
Do you not think?
if they want to. What's the word? What's the word?
You,
when
you don't
take
think
someone
it,
over?
invade? Conquer?
No, conquer. They're not going to bring us caviar, are they?
Well, they might have it in
They're
their
going to get
provisions
us
pack.
digging ditches.
Why do people think people are going to get us digging ditches for what? Why do invading
Well, it's not
forces,
just
we
Russia.
assume,
If
always want to
anyone-
dig ditches?
If anyone tries to conquer us, they're going to make us dig ditches. I don't want to dig ditches.
I know, but-
I hate digging.
You don't worry, darling. It's not happening yet. It's not happening. I'd buy expensive shoes and bags with my credit card.
Dead burns. That's terrible.
What if they didn't get delivered on time? Amazon would
You should be
contact you.
ashamed of yourself.
Oh, look, Laura S. tried the hot dog Walker's crisps.
What did you can't just say that and then not tell us what you think.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Did you like them? We love them.
Yeah,
Don't mention them. She's mentioned them.
she's mentioned them.
Please don't mention John.
Mags McClue, not with my knees. Mags McHugh, sorry, not with my knees.
What, digging ditches?
Yeah, digging ditches. Would you just say no and come what may? Maybe they
No, I
get...
would kill myself.
I realise what the ditches are for. They're for us.
I'd drink a nice warm milky drink that could send me off into a deep sleep. I do not want to be invaded. I do not want to be conquered. I do not want
Shit.
to dig ditches.
That's our night in the bedroom over. Oh, I was looking forward to conquering you. Anyway, okay, other news. This is a curious one. Well, look, first of all, I don't know if anyone's seen, but there's been a shooting at the Pentagon in America. The Pentagon in Virginia is on lockdown after multiple gunshots were fired near a platform by the facility's metro station. Does anyone know anything? And whilst I'm asking that, there's very limited news on this side. Any Americans know anything about that? And in other American news, the New York governor, Andrew Cuomo, I can never say his name. Say his name?
Cuomo.
Cuomo The Attorney General says he did sexually harass multiple women.
He's admitted it.
No, the Attorney General
the Attorney
has
General
said he
said.
has. But I think we're looking at in the region of 180 people. 179 individuals. They reviewed 74,000 pieces of evidence. A deeply disturbing yet clear picture of sexual harassment. Cuomo is yet to make a statement. I'm sure on CNN he'll be there.
Oh my God.
He's quite a stern
Don't
character.
mention Giant What's-It's, Claire Elsie. You've done it now.
Giant what's it?
Mustn't.
Last time we mentioned Giant what's it was
Well,
upstairs.
it was a tailspin.
It was a
God,
tailspin.
Wow, I remember at the beginning of the pandemic.
He was a hero.
He was a bit of our hero.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
God.
Took no bullshit, led with an iron rod.
And I'm sorry, if you got 179 people saying you did it, you probably did
Probably did it. Yeah. Deborah Holsworth, do you know that Russia are the only country with a vial of smallpox? What, literally like a vial of smallpox? That's evil. How do you know that? Where is it? Is it in Putin's drawer?
Meanwhile, Janine Davis says Toblerone ice cream. That's what I love our chats.
Is there Toblerone? I tell you what, I do love a praline. Look, no one else gives you Cuomo. What was the other thing? Pentagon shooting / pralines and cream Haagen-Dazs.
Russian invasion.
Russian invasion. We
Favourite
take you.
ice creams, crisps.
We don't know where we're going to go.
Can you imagine?
sometimes.
We should have our own radio show.
I just think it would be a rambling oasis of
So
possibility.
if we got our own radio show, would you listen to it?
Oh, that's a big question.
Yes or no?
Did you see Simone Biles winning bronze? I didn't
I
see it,
know.
but I saw that she had. And isn't it interesting how lots of people were calling her out negatively by saying you can't pick and choose what you want to
Fuck
perform in?
off. Just shut up. Just go away. You're not a
It's
gymnast.
like you're not a gymnast. Frick off. Oh, look, lots of people saying yes. That's
Yeah.
nice. Ah, Ishbality. Never seen Toblerone ice cream, says Steph Schultz. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Neither have I.
I've never seen
actually.
Toblerone ice.
No. Hit the thumbs up.
We should
What do you
get
call
my
it?
ice cream.
Thumbs up icon.
No, the like button.
Oh, the fucking hell! I can never get it right.
I think we need to get my ice cream machine down from upstairs.
Do you think
Because
it
I want to
still
show them
works?
all how to make my ice cream that I
So
made.
boring.
That I made for my MasterChef winning, the rose ice cream. Everyone loves that.
Can I just say that ice cream makers are really boring? You just put stuff in it, leave it in a corner, it goes.
Very noisy.
Very.
Does anyone
boring.
know a non-noisy ice cream making machine? I really want to make ice creams again.
Do you?
Mind you, then we'll eat them, and then we'll be fatter.
That's true.
That's not good.
What was I going to say? Pentagon shooting was at a metro stop. Yes, it was. Video is better because of the reactions. I know what you mean. Yeah. So look, here's the thing. Right, 3 stories of a lighter sort of touch. Okay.
Double raspberry magnum?
I've seen those. Have you seen
I
the?
didn't know about that.
Yeah. Have you seen the caramel magnums that have
I'd love a
caramel
double
between 2
raspberry
things of
magnum.
chocolate? Would you like a raspberry magnum?
Oh, I love it.
I'll get you a bloody raspberry
Well, why have you
magnum.
never got me one?
Because I didn't know you liked them, darling. Darling. There's Ben & Jerry's with crisps in it, Sam JP. No, they must have dropped them. Okay, listen to this. I'm going to ask you a question. If you call a dog out for the way it looks, can it be described as dog racism?
Dog discrimination.
Dog race, yeah. Branding a dog dangerous, says an owner, is a form of racism. A pet owner has accused the government of dog racism over a law that can see the animals placed in kennels or put down based on how dangerous they look. Not how dangerous they are, but how dangerous they look.
But she is a responsible dog owner.
She's
I'm
an owner of an
when-
American Bulldog crossed with a Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Yeah, when some people walk past you with a weapon dog off the lead
Yeah.
and miles ahead of you, I am racist to that dog, if that's what it's called. Is she saying
Well,
racist
it's
to the dog
dog.
because of the race that
I
the
think
dog
she's
is?
using the term. Can I just
Yeah.
say? I think in the debate, it's in the Times. I think.
I am prejudiced to certain dogs.
Okay.
They scare me.
But can I just say? I think the use of the term racism is profoundly wrong in this
So do
debate.
I.
think it's a kind of
Undermines
diminishing
real
and yeah, absolutely.
racism.
But I think it is a form of
But
discrimination.
But I can see what she's trying to get
Yeah.
a good conversation going so
Yeah.
she can make change. Because I know that people that are good owners that have dogs like we had a lovely relationship with that staff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going to tell you now, though that dog was so beautiful, I was scared every single second the kids were around that dog.
Yeah, so was I.
Because there is a difference between a dog that you could, if it was attacking a child, you could kick it off, and one that will lock its jaw and nothing will get that jaw open. And so to have prejudice and fear about certain dogs, though maybe not always fair, I think is totally understandable.
Yeah. Lior, hi, discrimination. Racism is the wrong word. Absolutely
It is
agree.
the wrong
I don't know if you meant to write discrimination in French, but it's kind of nicer, isn't it?
It's discrimination.
But when you walk down the street and you see a certain type of dog, you make a huge number of assumptions. So, or do you look at the dog owner?
Well, our dog trainer said, when you have a dog, you have to be constantly looking, scanning. I remember thinking, oh my God, every time you go to a park, you've got to be ahead and you've got to be looking. And looking to see how is the owner with that dog. Because, if there's somebody that looks like they like their dog to scare people, that dog has probably been trained to be scary. And I had that time, didn't I, once with Toffee years ago, when one of those dogs came up and they had a fight, and it was bloody petrifying.
Minky Moo
and
asks,
the owner just stood and watched, thought it was quite entertaining.
Minky Moo asks, why did that dogs and cats come up to people who don't like them? It's weird, isn't it? They sort of know.
I think they feel the fear. Fear must, I suppose, just inherently, instinct tells them that fear in something else is good because it means they're vulnerable.
Aaron says, dogs are unpredictable. You can never be too safe around dogs you don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, we've had issues with the Jack Russell. I mean, they're
2 bites from a Jack Russell. Yeah. I'm quite scared of Jack Russells.
Final couple of stories that were in the title. It's a big story, and they're talking about it a lot on LBC today, and some really heartfelt phone calls coming in from people who've struggled, lost relatives, children, parents, about the fact that today they announced that the number of drug-related deaths recorded in England and Wales is the highest since records began in 1993. My worry with this is they won't have fully got the figures during lockdown. So I think this number is only going to get even bigger next year. And I tell you why I think there's a real problem. I'm not talking about, I think most drugs in the end lead you, not for everyone, but for some, towards these terrible sort of ends. And I think one of the problems, it sounds really, really odd, is the pushing of alcohol and the pricing of alcohol, which is nudging people towards other ways of getting high. It's literally prohibitively expensive for youngsters. It is. It's the highest as in Scotland. You're absolutely right, Paul.
Yeah, because there's been a big injection of money, hasn't there, in Scotland?
But I think it's not about making alcohol cheaper so that everyone drinks more, but you've got a payoff situation here. Why are people using any drug to medicate? Because they're trying to numb themselves off. If that one is so expensive, they're going to get much cheaper drugs on the street. It seems like an obvious equation, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm not necessarily suggesting you just cheapen alcohol, but I think there must be something in that somewhere.
And, to our Scottish viewers, great news for you that restrictions are being lifted on Monday, though I think there's still a lot of mask wearing going to be asked. But as Nicola Sturgeon says, it doesn't mean it's the end of the pandemic.
Now,
She's always very good at keeping people grounded.
Keeping them grounded. Yeah, she's shown great leadership, I think, whatever you think of her. Right, now, 2 funny little stories. Well, funny, not funny. The last one isn't funny. This is kind of funny, but not for the person it happened to. Canadian athlete scores a 0.0 in the Olympic nightmare in which she dived, and it was branded the worst dive ever.
And of course she'll be a brilliant diver because she wouldn't have made it to the Olympics, but it just goes to show a millionth of a millimetre out.
Yeah.
And the dive, and it could be...
she failed to dive properly off the board. It leads you to think about Eddie the Eagle.
Into the water. Oh my God! No, because she will be very good.
She pulled out of the manoeuvre, so it's not to be. It's not.
She
not
pulled
fair.
out. It's a bit like Simone Biles, where it goes wrong. Oh God, that breaks my heart. Can you imagine being with family and friends watching that, knowing what she's put herself through?
After the event, Ware is the diver confessed that she was terrified that the difficult nature of the dive could cause serious injury. It's the same issue. I mean, if you think about it, these sports and activities are so supremely dangerous and complicated. Did you see the cyclist whose handlebar came off and he just landed on his face? There's huge danger elements to these. So when they pull out of a...
She said, I think if I had done the dive, I would have hurt myself.
But don't you think they shouldn't have given her...
She just got it a bit wrong.
Do you not think for her sort of pride and mental health, they shouldn't have given her a score? They should have maybe just put a void. Do you know what I mean?
I love this though. She says, but I am proud because I've done everything possible to make it to where I am. I'm human. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I hope you guys are going to get used to having me around because I'm not going to go.
Oh, good on you, fighting back.
Yeah, you could a week previous take any Olympic contestant, they call
Yeah.
contestants, competitor,
Yeah.
and they'll have been making mistakes in their
Absolutely,
practice.
yeah.
And so just because it's that moment
Exactly.
doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be. And I love that these people are pulling out rather than. I mean, can you imagine you land wrongly on a dive or off the vault, and you could paralyse yourself? It's not bloody worth it.
Now, this is final story is quite a sad one. This is the moment that a boy aged 3 releases a butterfly that he's lovingly raised, I think, from a pupa. Is it a pupa or a yeah? And when he releases it, his dog eats it.
Oh
Shall we watch it?
no!
Yeah.
Oh, Mark!
What?
Oh, Mark!
What?
Let's pull the lid off. That's it.
Hang on.
So bye-bye butterfly. Let's pull the lid off. That's it.
Hang on.
So bye-bye butterfly.
Oh,
That's
that
it.
lovely
So
bird.
bye-bye butterfly. Hey, Mark.
There we go. He's knocking it out. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, and there it is. And it's flying off. And the dog's eating it.
Oh my God!
God. He's actually eating it.
Well, that's nature for you. That's Mother Nature. She got some things a little bit messed up.
That's sad. That's a bit like the moment when we were in Regent's Park and I looked out at this beautiful scene, idyllic scene of a duck with her ducklings. Quack, 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 quack. You pointed at them and you said, oh, look, Kiki. Kiki looked, and a seagull swooped down, picked up one of the babies.
And ate it.
And broke its neck and ate it.
It was horrible. Thank you guys for spending time with us. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so you know when we is live. And just hit the like button just underneath my chin. It's here.
Do you know
Where's
the way
here?
we do an and finally? That's like the and finally of ITN
Yeah,
News,
do you remember
isn't
the
it?
old days with
Yeah.
the unfine? We should
With
do
Trevor
we should
McDonald.
do a
Or Trevor
nostalgic trip down memory
Yeah.
lane of the news.
That's a good idea.
Weatherman,
That's a
favourite
great
weather.
idea. Do you remember when Lenny Henry used to do Trevor McDonald?
Yeah, that was
That's so funny. I miss Lenny Henry.
Come on, hit the like button, get us to 300 likes. That would be so.
And I tell you what I really like. Someone said that if we were invaded by the Russians, all I'd have to do is put my Cossack hat on.
Who remembered you've got a Cossack hat?
I think it was at Nicola
You are
Rose.
such a clever lot.
Someone said that. Someone said that.
So do you think if you had a Cossack hat, somebody else could dig our ditches for us?
I think so. I think so. If I had a bottle of vodka and I said, please move over there, and well, in a French manner,
In a very French accent.
with a bottle of vodka and my,
It's not his forte.
and my Cossack hat, I think I could persuade them to leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Are you thinking that's the Michael Jackson song?
Yeah, but I'm doing my own twist on it.
Yeah, but you might get blocked by YouTube.
Chi-Chi is
Ah.
doing great at the moment. Thank you, Faith. She is... we took
going
her out for a
back
walk
into-
today.
she's going
She
back
walked
into hospital
straight
again, though.
into a motorbike.
Yeah.
Not a moving one.
No.
Because she's blind. Mark's got to take her back to hospital on Friday. Back to the ophthalmologist. I tell you what, I wish there was a local bloody hospital.
Tell
Does
me
anyone
about
know
it.
any good hospitals in South London?
Well, yes, there's a bloody South East London hospital, but for some reason we have to take her. Anyway, it's just so she gets the best treatment. And yay!
300
final-
likes. Thanks, guys.
Final thing, when you come off of this, there is a new How to Stay Married. Tell us what it's about, Nat.
Yes. So, this is off the back of all the drama that's been going on Love Island. Now, I don't want you to think, oh, that's not the podcast for me, because I don't watch Love Island.
It's
because
about
we're
much more
just
than
taking
that.
some of the themes from Love Island, and we actually are talking about lads' night out, lads' weekend away, lads' holiday, what's going on. Mark is incredibly honest. It's quite shocking.
It is a little bit.
He talks about all his infidelities.
Oh, I
So
don't.
that is on, well, no, only some of them. Now that's under How to Stay Married So Far playlist.
Yeah.
And it's just been uploaded today. It might pop up after
Yeah.
this, actually. Will it pop up after this?
It will. It should be
Oh,
suggested
it might
now
be
at the
pop
end of
up
this.
straight after
Yeah.
this. So have a listen. It's
Stay tuned,
really
guys.
very
Stay
interesting.
tuned.
And don't be put off because the themes are just from Love Island. You don't
And
need to have watched it.
I'd also like to say to family guests, we are aware that there was no members live last week. That is going to be a Bermuda Triangle in our programming. But there will be one probably tomorrow. So we will notify
Not
you.
tomorrow, it'll be Thursday.
Sorry, Thursday. And we'll notify you in advance, but it's another opportunity for cards to go out. We've got the last 5 cards to go out. I think most people should have their cards by now. And someone just asked, will I be doing the cook-along? We will. It's just been the Chi-Chi has
We're thinking we
has
might do
gobbled it
something
all up.
different
Yeah,
as
we
well.
might
I'm
do
not sure I
something
might
different.
change it.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen to How to Stay Married So Far. Don't worry about it being about Love Island, and tell us what you think below.
Yes.
Love you.
And are you going live on Love Island on Insta tonight?
I will.
Oh, she is.
See you
Take
there.
care, guys.
Bye.